Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to today's video where I'm going to help you guys learn the Lavaminer deck with Barbarians. I will do a video on whether Barbarians or Skeleton King are the best, but for now I'm rocking the Barbarians. I think they're definitely good in the meta and on mid-ladder, and I'll also have more mid-ladder specific videos for you guys with this deck as well, because I think it actually works pretty fine on mid-ladder. So let's hop into some games. So first of all, I want to tell you guys that I actually stream on Twitch at a new time now as well, so I stream twice a day. We are going to be streaming at 12 to or 11 to 2 a.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/invader. So if you go follow, I have a European friendly time now as well. And so anyways, with this deck, the number one thing you're going to have to do is play passively and defensively. Don't go with lavas, like overcommitting here. A big mistake would be if I went lava in front of this Inferno Tower, Inferno Dragon. I was thinking about it, but that's only if the Inferno Dragon gets there and there's nothing, counter push. But he goes with the Dark Prince in the graveyard, so I just decided to go with the Barbarians here. And you got to be careful that you're not overspending here, because I just spent the Barbarians on a push that was 9 elixir, so it's a +4 trade. Even though we're going to take around half of our tower, we're up 4 elixir, so we can go with the Lava Hound here, and we can't get punished because he just used Dark Prince Graveyard. So that's a big it's a big advantage for us here, because he doesn't have as much elixir as if we had overspent on defense. And so the number one thing is obviously playing passive and defensive, but number two, you guys are probably thinking, how am I supposed to get damage without a balloon? It's probably the biggest shock for people trying to learn this deck. You're going to have to build damage off of counter pushes. So early on, put yourself in a situation where you always have a hefty sum of elixir to work with. So never go lava like really early. Always make sure you can check out what air counters he has and what spells he has, because then you can do a little fireball bait and stuff like that. And as you can see, we were leaking a little bit here, which was probably my bad. But ultimately, it's better to leak than to make a play that could cost you the game, in my opinion. And so here, I believe we go with the arrows just to get the archers out, and that means that theoretically we could put a lava in front of this Inferno Dragon. I don't know if that's what I do. We actually don't do that. We actually just go lava in the back, because I figured he's got, the archers and the rascals, and he's got the snowball, so it's probably a low chance I'm going to get the Inferno Dragon to the tower. And here's probably the best defense I play of the game. We've got to realize that just because you have a lava on the field, that doesn't mean anything. If he is playing this aggressive, that means he can't immediately kill your Lava Hound. And so, as long as he doesn't have an Inferno Dragon or something, if he has an Inferno Dragon or an Inferno Tower, don't go lavas in the back if you know he can punish you. Only go lavas in front of, like, let's say the Skeleton Dragons after we killed this push. But we go with the Barbed Skeleton Dragons to make sure we're not taking graveyard damage there. And now, as you can see, we wrapped up his push without taking too much damage. And just like that, he's got to defend a Lavaminer flying machine push. And we're going to get 2 puppy hits as well, and the miner's on the tower. And just like that, we're up 5 elixir. That's an insane amount of elixir. And here I do this just so that he couldn't go with the graveyard. He decided to go with the archers, so he couldn't have gone with the graveyard. He didn't have enough elixir. But we just go with the barbs here just to be safe. And then we go with the lava at the bridge. No, we don't. I'm sorry. I thought we went lava at the bridge, but we just go with the minor arrows here. And then the tombstone. Maybe it was a different game I was thinking of where we went lava at the bridge, but I would have gone lava at the bridge there if I had barbarians. See, basically, if you're playing versus graveyard, barbarians are so important, and you can often do a little situation where you put a lava down and he tries to pressure you opposite lane with like Valk graveyard, and you could just barbs on it. And so I was thinking, if he didn't Dark Prince there, I could have just gone with the barbarians and then lava'd at the bridge. But I decided, minor arrows is probably going to do the same thing, and that was a smart play by me. So I lost to this King Bull guy. He's pretty good, and I was pretty pissed off because I lost to this deck that I'd won earlier, but I was just playing a little tilted. It's too bad. But, in hindsight, the deck is tricky. It's tricky to beat 3-card cycle, and I kind of screwed up because If you're facing a champion, the 3-card cycle is just so hard to deal with. So, um, I should have probably activated King Tower there, but honestly, I was kind of thinking, you know, who cares? If he's a player who goes E-Spirit at the bridge first play, there's a high chance that he doesn't care if you activate King Tower. So that means he's usually playing Xbow or Royal Giant, because those decks both are mainly not affected by the King Tower being activated. So here we go with the lava, because I have a tombstone on the board, and he does respond with an Xbow. I was kind of expecting an Xbow. It is important that you don't respond to these Xbows, because if you respond to the Xbow, you don't have enough elixir to do this, Fireball Bait. So against the Xbow, it's pretty simple here, because if we had responded to that Xbow, we wouldn't have enough elixir to go with the arrows here on his archers. And we also went with the miner first just to tank, because I knew he wasn't back to Fireball, but even if he tried to get back to Fireball, he couldn't kill, you know, everything in just one Fireball. And so as you can see there, instead of responding to the Xbow same lane, we go with the Flying Machine behind. Or you could have gone with the Skeleton Dragons behind and then the Flying Machine. It doesn't really matter how you do it. But I just thought that the Flying Machine would be better to basically take out the Xbow from behind our lava. Because I'm not actually quite sure how the Skeleton Dragons interaction works, but I know that if you put a Flying Machine behind a Lava Hound, it's going to stay behind the Lava Hound and pick it off from behind, so he has to Fireball it. And so as you can see, pretty simple. I went with the Inferno because he doesn't have E-Spirit, so we're just chilling. And we go with the Lava in the back because he doesn't have Xbow, so he can't punish us. And it's already game over. I mean, there's no way he can take that left tower with the siege deck when we already have the tower. So here we're going to do a little fireball baiting again. That's the #1 rule with this deck. You got to fireball. It's not a rule, it's more like a strategy. It's the #1 strategy. You got to fireball bait, get his spells out, space out your troops so that, you know, they can't fireball all of them. As you can see, we took out the archers here because he wasn't able to fireball the skeleton dragons and the pups and the flying machine. You guys can also substitute Mega Minion for Inferno Dragon, but, you know, I wouldn't recommend that. I think Inferno Dragon's just better against a lot of matchups, at least in this meta. And so, as you can see, it's just pretty simple defense. Fireball bait. It's a very good matchup against Xbow with the, you know, the classic Xbow. Sorry, I was about to yawn. And also, it's a pretty good matchup against bait decks, too, if you can get your cycle right. So yeah, on to the next game. Alright, so I've got Pekka Lumberloon for you guys here. This deck isn't as common in mid-ladder, I don't think, but you see it a little bit on higher-ish ladder. And it's not like it's uncommon deck, it's kind of no skill, so a lot of people play it on mid-ladder. So it's not like, I wouldn't say it's one of the most popular decks, but it's also not like completely extinct. You'll see it every now and then. It's not as common as normal bowler Lumberloon, but I think, honestly, if he has E-Drag, it's probably not a great matchup. But, Baby Dragon E-Wizard is... you could deal with it. It's just a little annoying because the Baby Dragon, you don't really have a good way to kill things since there's no Fireball in this deck. But as you can see, we go with the Flying Machine early because you kind of have to respond to a Flying Machine unless you want to take a good 800 damage. And so here, we go with the Inferno because I didn't have Lava in hand. I didn't want to waste a Tombstone. I'd rather, if I'm facing decks like this, I'd rather try and save my Tombstone. He goes to the Pekka in the back, so it's fine. Just go with the Lava in front. You know, it's a 7 for 7 kind of deal. We're sitting at pretty much the same elixir. And he already used his E-Wizard, so sucks to be you, buddy. Here, I think he is going to take this tower with Lumberloon, though. Sadly, these skeleton dragons weren't the best skeleton dragons I could have played, and also the Tombstone didn't pull the balloon, which was kind of sad. It didn't exactly click to me that he was playing this deck until, you know, he already played the Lumberloon. And so here we went with the miner there, because we were able to get some pretty solid damage here. I think we got him down to like 2,000. Yeah, and that was pretty good. Actually, we got him down to 1,600, which is crazy. Considering, you know, we didn't even have a lava push down. But this is really good for us because his baby dragon is now out, and he froze that, and I was just like, okay, I guess that's cool. He took the tower, whatever. Feels cool, man, or whatever. And so here we're just focusing on wrapping up this balloon. He doesn't have freeze and cycle, he just used it, so I didn't think it was necessary to play anything else on the balloon. Flying machine coming in. We've got the Inferno for his baby D. Binder for his E-Wiz. A nice thing for you guys to know is against wizards and stuff, minor plus the arrows, wizards and musketeers, minor plus arrows. I think you need 2 minor shots and then 1 arrow's hit. That will be the good game against the wizards. I don't know what I was saying there, but basically, if you have a level 14 minor and a level 14 arrows, you need 2 minor shots and an arrow spell to kill the wizard and the musketeer and the E-Wizard and I believe the Ice Wizard and maybe a couple other things. So yeah, good matchup. On to the last match. So this matchup is going to display the dominance you can do against bait in double elixir. With the arrows, with the minor, there's just so many options. Basically, I guess the goal is maybe play more passively and defensive in single, but it's kind of hard for me to do that against bait. I don't know, I really struggle with defense against bait. But alright. Sorry, my mom is yelling at me. But anyways, I thought that lava would be a good play just to kind of force something out. Since I know double barrel bait means he has no big spell, I thought it would be pretty fine to just go with that. And to identify what he's playing. So now we know for sure he's playing double bait, double barrel bait. And it's not a terrible situation here. However, double barrel is a tedious matchup. As long as you don't get behind in single, I think that's going to be the best choice for you. So Skeleton Dragon's coming in. I believe we arrows the princess. Or maybe we don't. Yeah, we don't. I don't think so. I wanted to get her out of there, but I figured the arrows would probably be better spent on a goblin barrel. So we were leaking, but there was nothing else we could have played there, I don't think. And so yeah, the arrows on the goblin barrel is probably a smarter move there. And we actually messed up this tombstone here. That was the misplay of the game. We played it too early, sadly. Yeah, it should have been later. So that's probably the worst part about that. But here we go with just the minor to pull the Skarmy, and then the Skeleton Dragons wrap up his Skeleton Barrel without taking too much damage. So basically we're heading into double down 1500, but it's definitely comebackable as long as they're not down too much. So we're going to go with the barbs here, just wrapping up the barrel. Sadly we're going to still take like 500 damage, and then the princess gets a shot too. So it was a little annoying, but here we went with the flying machine actually, and because the flying machine you could put it in the other lane to kill troops. So as you can see, the flying machine's in the left lane, but it's killing people in the right lane, so you can back up your pushes with it. However, I thought lava in the back would probably be the best choice there, so that I can actually build up a huge push. And so here we had to do some barbarians here in the middle. It's going to pull some of the skeletons, and it's also going to kill the goblins and the knight. So I think that was the best situation for us there. And here we also go with the flying machine, I believe, behind to support after we go with the miner. And then we go with the arrows to kill his skeleton army and his princess, and just like that, with the tombstone behind the tower, it'll be a good game. And as you can see, we can break through pretty easily with no big spell. You've just got to be patient and make sure that you play good defense in the minutes leading up to the end of the match. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and see you all hopefully for daily lava videos.